So this is the line at the Harris Teeter in Charlottesville at 10 o'clock at night. I was gonna buy a pot roast to let simmer throughout the day, and basically just gave up on it. I was not going to sit in the line that looked like it was taking forever, because it appeared as though Harris Teeter certainly was not ready for that amount of people at 10 o'clock at night. So
industrial accident with the plow truck driver being injured, neck and back injury. Were any fire personnel injured, or the fire personnel just there assisting as far as the injured plow truck driver?
They were just assisting, ma'am. They happened to pull up and they were assisting this plow truck driver. I think EMS 13 will be transporting to the hospital.
Okay, I copy. Engine 13's on the scene, and they're going to be transporting him to the hospital. Atlanta Park Police.
16's on the scene. Ambulance EMS 13 is transporting to the hospital.
Yes, sir. Let's make a notification that a cab driver, that his vehicle is slid and is resting right next to a detective cruiser. So he's going to need a crane to pull it away from the car. He's waiting at 900 block of Quackenbush Street.
7-4. That's we advise. Somebody. We got buses stuck in the 4600 block of Southern Avenue. Can we send them some assistance? Metro buses are stuck in the snow. Hey, they can't get up here.
ID 2262. I had a citizen approach me inside the location that says approximately 10 or more juveniles throwing snowballs down into the Metro subway when the pedestrians are coming out. Can you notify Metro for me representative location?
Is it the Potomac Avenue Metro?
Hey, brother, man, southeast. Southeast Metro. Assist me at Nebraska and Rockwood Parkway. Vehicle stuck in the snow. 2052. Nebraska and Rockwood. 8513.
There's so much concentration of snow, Alexander, in the air. The optics are actually playing tricks on us. It looks like it's pink snow coming down the nation's capital, but the way that the lights are reflecting and refracting, the way that the rays are being bent through all that snow, that very heavy snow right now, you're getting that pink hue. Obviously, these are the kind of situations that you see only with the worst.
Well, a developing story we just found out about. There's been a landslide at 7 o'clock tonight in Haywood County, North Carolina. Now, reports are it did do damage or destroy homes in a 7-home development on Rich Cove Road. Again, that is in Haywood County, North Carolina, in the Maggie Valley. What they had, reports are 2.5 inches of rain falling on top of at least 6 inches of slowly melting snow, and rescuers and law enforcement are staging right now at Maggie Valley Town Hall.
Yeah, it's going to be in front of 1272 Rom Street, Northeast.
Coming out of Baltimore, look at the blizzard conditions we're finding here. Jack taking this video for us and sending it in to eyewitness@weather.com.
So not only are we dealing with very heavy snow, we've also got a lot of wind on top of that is knocking down trees and power lines and knocking out power. That's going to be a real problem because, of course, it is very cold and people can't easily move around with that kind of snow on the ground.
Superior Towing have an answer machine. United Towers, they don't have no one available. They have 3 cranes and they're already stuck in snow, some on the snow. They're not taking anybody. Call the CIC. They want you to call the CIC. Okay.
Still en route. We're gonna have to walk. We're gonna have to go on foot. Vermont's gonna be impassable with the cruiser.
Snowfall, we're getting surrounded. My car is stuck. Copy. I could use some help.
Okay.
I'm right here with you.
It was in Hartford County.
In Hartford County, there was an accident where they sent several people to the hospital. There may have been some other smaller accidents today that we have not heard about yet, but that's the one that we knew about overnight.
Okay, here's the interesting thing I want to get to. You said 30 inches of snow. People have been heeding those warnings. They may think, Mr. McDonough, that since it started to taper off, that it's over.
This storm definitely one for the record books. Over 2 feet of snow across parts of the mid-Atlantic, and the snow is still falling.
Several cars stuck in the 5400 block, 5500 block East Capitol Street on the southeast side, which is causing vehicles to drive on the wrong side on East Capitol Street.
Okay, so what do you want me to do?
Notify DBW, see if they can come and, I guess, try to plow it again, because they got several cars that just got stuck. So it's making cars drive on the wrong side of East Capitol Street.
I'll see what I can do for you, sir. It's almost 18 on that.
That's 012. They have a crane available to relocate some vehicles.
If you notify the crane, you got like 5, 6 cars stuck in 5500 block East Capitol Street.
Baltimore, more than 26 inches tonight, the second biggest snowstorm ever for that city. Pittsburgh, just over 21 inches. And in Washington, D.C., 24 inches, close to a record.
No flights in or out of all 3 major airports. Passenger train service suspended. No city buses to ride, and metro trains stayed underground. Roads were near impassable as officials urged drivers to stay home and make way for plows and emergency vehicles. Dubbed the snowpocalypse as the storm approached, the biggest punch came overnight when the snow fell at 3 inches an hour, a pace that continued all day.
Today it was all about safety.
The wet, heavy snow piled up on trees, snapping limbs and bringing down power lines, leaving 200,000 customers without electricity at midday. At Dulles Airport, an airplane hangar partially collapsed, and in the city, a 100-year-old neighborhood church was demolished by the weight of the snow.
Maryland, where some small towns measured up to 40 inches of snow, declared a state of emergency and issued a blunt warning.
225 43rd Road, Northeast Palmer 103. Check on Mr. Kenny, could be a male or female. Hot phone 715 or her from due to the snowstorm. And ma'am, your 10th floor? Okay, 43, you say you're stuck at Ashton Place in West Street? That's for the next place, southeast.
As we walk along 3rd Street, it's amazing that here we are on just a weekday morning, and there's hardly any traffic to speak of. And if you happen to look over here, Dave, you stay put. I'm going to hop over here. On this side, looking this direction of the mall, normally you'd see the Washington Monument, maybe the Smithsonian on one side, trees, can't see that. Then you hop over here on this side, where you should see, well, you can barely see the Grand Statue, and then over there, the Rotunda. Well, I'll tell you, at this vantage point, this might as well be Nebraska, could be Kansas, could be any place. It really doesn't matter, because you can't see anything, and visibility is one of the key things when it comes to having a blizzard warning. Visibility, about a quarter mile or less. Then when you have strong winds at 35 miles an hour, trust me, we got those. Especially right over here, you can see the whiteout conditions. See the police car trying to make its way through us. It's hard to see. That's one of the key reasons why they don't want people out there on the roads. Certainly rough stuff when you have the gusts that really come in like this. It makes all the difference in the world. Ripped right through you.
For the following areas in New York, northeast Suffolk and southeast Suffolk, blizzard warning remains in effect until 6 a.m. Thursday. Snow, heavy at times, will continue through early tonight. Snowfall rates of 1 to 3 inches per hour are possible. By the time snow ends tonight, total accumulations of 14 to 17 inches are expected. Northeast winds 25 to 30 miles an hour with gusts at 40 to 45 miles an hour will cause blowing and drifting of snow, with blizzard conditions along with possible power outages.
The punishing, pummeling conditions we're under tonight, blizzard-like conditions, as a massive snowstorm bears down on all the major metropolitan areas here in the east Most important, cities like Washington, Baltimore, that are getting their second big hit in less than a week. And look at the size of this storm. Our friends at the Weather Channel estimate before it's over, it will impact 1 in 3 Americans. 107 million people in 25 states, including 10 of the 25 most populous states in the United States.
Good evening. We've still got winds here of 30 to 40 miles per hour. In Maryland, the governor estimates that they got 20 inches on top of the 30 they got over the weekend. 17,000 homes thought to be without power in northern Maryland. In D.C., a quarter of the snowplows have broken down at one point or another, and tonight, D.C. is largely paralyzed. For much of the day, blowing snow and a near whiteout cover the mid-Atlantic. The capital nearly impossible to make out through blizzard conditions. The snow has been blowing. We're near blizzard, if not at blizzard conditions. It's been a total whiteout. We've had problems with apparatus responding around. Farther south, near Williamsburg, Virginia, zero visibility led to a 50-car pileup. WBAL's Rob Roblin is in Baltimore.
Where I am now, we've had over 11 inches of snow on top of about 27 inches of snow that we had last weekend. So this is a real mess.
Digging out won't be easy. Much of the region, already buried in up to 30 inches of snow, now has another foot.
This is the walk to the subway. About half a mile. Game on.
Entire neighborhoods, cars, and downed trees buried. We have already, this year in Washington, broken the all-time record for seasonal snowfall, 55 inches. Baltimore, they got even more, but the Washington record goes back to 1899.
In central Pennsylvania, a 50-vehicle pileup closed the 9-mile section of westbound I-80.
Truck in front of me jackknifed. I tried to get stopped, couldn't, and after that, it was just one big reaction after another.
Mangled tractor trailers littered the snow-swept highway. 17 people were sent to the hospital.
This one is really starting to pick up in intensity. As you can see, the wind is blowing, the snow is coming down. And for the first time in a very long time, New Jersey Transit has suspended bus service statewide tonight. That is a very rare occurrence as of...
A winter storm warning for heavy snow means severe winter weather conditions are expected or occurring. Significant amounts of snow are forecast that will make travel dangerous. If you must travel, keep an extra flashlight, food, and water in your vehicle in case of an emergency.
We mentioned this at the top of the broadcast. Today brought a highly unusual weather event to the U.S. There was measurable snowfall today, think about this, in 49 of the 50 United States. We will confirm this with meteorologist Mike Seidel of the Weather Channel. But Mike, along with the snowfall you are covering in Atlanta, Georgia tonight of all places, this all feels pretty unusual.
It does, and the only state right now that doesn't have measurable snow on the ground is the state of Hawaii. The Big Island's mountaintops are snow-free. Meanwhile, about the only thing flying back here in Atlanta at the world's busiest airport were snowflakes and not planes. A preemptive strike yesterday by the #1 air carrier, Delta. They canceled 1,100 flights ahead of today's storm. Meanwhile, down in Dallas-Fort Worth this morning, another several hundred were canceled because of yesterday's all-time snowfall. Get a load of these pictures. It looks more like Buffalo than North Texas. 12.5 inches of snow. They've never seen that much on a one storm. And because it was a heavy, wet snow at Dogtown, thousands of trees and limbs on the power lines. Tonight, over 250,000 homes are without electricity. Some may not get their heat on for several days. And it snowed for the first time in 12 years today in Mobile, Alabama. Down there on the Gulf Coast, a dusting in Florida. Unfortunately, tragedy near Montgomery as a weather-related accident claimed 2 children. Meanwhile, look at the totals. These are amazing numbers. Shreveport over 5 inches. Vicksburg, Mississippi, 6.5 inches. Tonight, Charleston awaits the snow brine. This storm is headed out to sea, not up east, not up the East Coast, where a lot of folks would be more than happy to send some of their snow out to the mountains for the Olympics.